Yo, this is Hiro from Hiro's Hotrods. This is a step-by-step installation video to show you how to install your Hiro's Hotrods 2003 to 2006 Honda Element swivel seat. Now the process for the driver and the passenger are the same with the exception of 2 bolts. Inside your kit you're going to find 6 things. You're going to find a swivel unit, 2 lower brackets, 2 upper brackets, and a pack of hardware. Now the process is going to take about 3 to 4 hours, so plan accordingly. If you're looking for information on the 07 to 11 option, that can be found in another video. So with no further ado, let's cover the tools needed for the job and get into hot rodding. The tools you'll need to complete the job are a 10mm socket, a 10mm wrench, a 13mm socket, a 13mm wrench, a 14mm socket, 17mm socket, and a 17mm wrench. We're also going to need a 3/8 ratchet and an extension, and also an impact gun if you've got one. We'll need a Phillips screwdriver, a utility knife, a 4mm Allen, and a 6mm Allen. A simple cutoff wheel and flap wheel will do the trick, but don't be afraid to use whatever you've got in the shop to complete the tasks. You're going to need some safety glasses, some tape, some paint, and some paper. Along with that, we'll need a 1/4-inch drill bit and a drill. And last but not least, we'll need some kind of metal jumper to jump the connector pin underneath the dash to reset the SRS light. Time for some hot rodding. Alright, we're going to start by disconnecting the negative terminal from your battery. Step inside the element, pull up on the front of the center console and forward to remove. Under the seat you'll find 2 connectors. Start by removing the plastic clips that hold the wire loom to the pan of the seat, followed by the 2 connectors. Next, take off the 2 plastic covers that hide the 14mm bolts in the front of the seat. Remove these 2 14mm bolts with either your wrench or your impact. Slide the seat forward to expose the rear plastic panel and remove by pulling up and out. This will reveal the last 2 14mm bolts that secure the seat to the chassis. Zip zip, gone. Rip that seat out and get ready for some fun. Time to prep the seat rails. We're going to start by removing the 2 clips on the bottom of the plastic side covers, followed by the recliner lever. Pull this up and out, and the side cover is ready to pop off. With some force, grab a hold of the side plastic cover and pull directly out. Then wiggle it around the rear spring. As we transition over to the left side, it requires you to remove the recliner step lever with a Phillips screwdriver. And just like the opposing side, grab firmly, lift up, release the 2 clips, and remove. Time for some power tools. There are 3 brackets on each side that will need to be trimmed off. The front and the rear brackets are attached by 2 welds and some rivets. The support post in the middle, just 2 welds. Grab the 1/4-inch drill bit and drill out the second hole on the rear portion of the seat rail. Quick little wipe down of some wax and grease remover. Tape and mask off the area and get it ready for paint. Quick little psh psh, that's some black paint and should be ready for brackets. Now we're going to attach the upper brackets to the seat rails. Start by moving the sliders up and inserting the first M6 low socket bolt into the top hole, followed by the Hiro's Hotrods upper bracket and finished off with a washer and a nylock nut. Slide the bracket down and install the last 2 bolts on each side in the same order as above. Once all 6 bolts are in, it's time to snug them up. Now let's have a look at the rear plastic garnish. It's going to need to get trimmed down quite a bit. The Sharpie line that I traced out along the bottom of this is the recommended trim line. Boom! Here it is, the rear plastic garnish all trimmed up and ready to be installed. Snap, crackle, pop, click, clack, boom! Time to put the swivel units and the lower brackets together. This process requires the 4 black spacers, 8 M8x125 30mm bolts, 8 washers, and 8 serrated flange nuts. Start by inserting a spacer between the swivel unit and the lower bracket. Grab a bolt and a washer and slide it down through the hole. Use the serrated flange nut to secure it together, but leave it a little bit loose as this will help you with the installation into the chassis in a bit. Drop the unit into your element and secure it with the factory seat mount bolts. Grab your 14mm socket and snug up the 4 bolts that you just installed. It's now time to tighten up the swivel to the lower brackets. Grab your 13mm socket and start tightening up the M8 bolts that we just installed. Those serrated flange nuts will help tighten and secure the brackets. At this point, we're ready to install the seat back into the vehicle. Lower the seat down onto the swivel unit and lightly secure it with the two M10 by 1.5 25mm bolts, lock washers, and fender washers up front. Slide the seat forward and install the last two M10 by 1.5 button head bolts, the lock washers, and the fender washers to finish off the job. Push down on the swivel lever and rotate the seat to face outward. Grab a hold of the wire loom and give it a light pull to gain some length. Plug the two connectors in and secure the wires up underneath the seat with the zip tie. Make sure you've got plenty of room to depress the swivel lever. Moving right along, we're going to mod the center console next. You'll need to cut a 7.5 inch by 1.5 inch hole in the side to make room for the seat to swivel past. Start your hole 1.5 inches from the lip of the rear cup holder, just like it's shown in this picture. Don't forget to reconnect your battery. Come down under the steering wheel and remove the fuse panel cover. We're after that little yellow 2-pin connector right there. This is where our metal jumper comes into play. This can be a piece of wire, a paper clip, or even a safety pin. This is my weapon of choice. Insert your jumper into each side of the connector and turn the ignition to the on position. Pay attention to the little red light in the bottom right corner. When that light turns off, pull your jumper. Now keep your eye on that bottom right corner and watch for the SRS light to illuminate. Once it does, install your jumper again. The light will switch off, pull your jumper one last time, and watch for the SRS light to blink twice and remain off. This is how you'll know you've completed the reset process. Right on, welcome to the end of the installation video. I hope this helped shed some light on the process to get you swiveling with some ease. If you've got any questions about the product, or you're looking to purchase your own driver or passenger swivel seat for your 2003 to 2006 Honda Element, head on over to the website www.heroshotrods.com. Happy hot rodding, people. Hotrod the World. Ow!